Here on the Ignorance Is This podcast, we like to open the show with a weird exchange between Scott and myself doing bad impersonations or even shitty outtakes from the show. But sometimes we forget to record them, and that means it's up to the editor to do something right at the start. That's what you're listening to right now. There are spoilers for Atomic Blonde in this show.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ignorance Is This, a podcast about a different way of experiencing cinema, with little to no knowledge about it beforehand. My name is Scott Martin, and sitting opposite me is the man with grace, space, and pace, Oliver Deer.
I sure do. I've got all those things. I'm real quick. I got that pace. You come up with these new intros every week, and they're true.
I thought it would be half the fun to not respond and see what you get up to say.
Hey, Scott Martin, what are we doing this week?
Hey, we're going to talk about heaps of things. We're going to talk about Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, the new movie with Charlize Theron. Is that how you say it?
Theron.
Theron?
Theron. But how do you pronounce McAvoy? Because I always say it incorrectly. Before I was saying McAvey.
McAvoy, yeah.
We're also going to be talking about a pet peeve of mine. But this time, special edition, it's not about a piece of dialogue within films.
I love special editions of things.
Yep.
We're thinking of having a special edition episode where it's the quiz episode, and I quiz you on your knowledge.
Yep.
So we can put your knowledge into perspective.
Get hyped for that. I'm not, because it'll make me look like an idiot. Ollie and I were just hanging out together, and he asked me a question about some director and what were some of the films that he's made, and I only got like one of them. And then the rest I babbled on like an idiot. And I think if that translates to podcasts, then I'm going to look like an idiot for all of you guys to know.
Sometimes...
So I don't want that to happen.
Sometimes you ask, oh, it was this director who directed that film, wasn't it? And I say, yes, even though sometimes it's not. Because...
So my knowledge is way out the window.
Because I want to test you on it later.
Well, I'm going to be confident in those things because I trust you.
This is before I knew it was going to be a quiz.
Oh, so you were just doing it to be an asshole?
Yeah. Anyway, I've had a little bit of a thought this week.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I was gonna give you just a statement. I just wanted to see if you agree with it or not. I've stolen the statement from a internet thread that was asking a similar question.
Sure.
I just wanted you to tell me like how true do you find the statement that you haven't really seen a film until you've seen it twice?
I don't agree with that.
Don't agree?
No.
Okay.
I feel I don't know.
It's fine if you don't agree with it.
Well, I do. I kind of do agree because you're gonna notice things better on your second viewing.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of assignments to do this semester that require me to watch films. In fact, this weekend I have 3 different watching film homework tasks.
Whoa.
Did you know that?
No. What do you got to watch?
I got to watch Dumbo. And we got to watch that other one in the other class that you and I are in together. Remember the teacher was like, hey, watch this, and we all were supposed to write it down? Were you listening?
Yeah, no, I was listening.
You're a bad student.
I don't know what it... Just calling me a bad student. Okay.
but because this is something that I actually have to like study and write down and analyze, I have to watch it at least twice. Yeah. So I do agree with that.
So you already know you're bad at your homework because you don't watch films to begin with.
Yeah. I'm a bad student, we found.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if something's inherently bad, I don't want to watch it again.
Yeah.
So in that way, then I've seen the movie enough to know that I don't want to watch it again.
Right.
So I agree and disagree.
Well,
I'm in that minorities.
The way I thought we could put it to the test is I wrote down what I thought my top 10 movies were just before the show, and I have a look at them now, and I can see the only one I've seen once. Everything else I've definitely seen probably more than 3 times. So like Hot Fuzz, Interstellar, Pulp Fiction, Sin City, Forrest Gump, Scott Pilgrim, Goblet of Fire, Princess Bride, Shawshank Redemption, and the only one that I've only ever seen once is La La Land.
Okay.
And I'm putting that on the list.
Wow.
But I'm thinking like, should La La Land be there? Because I've only seen it once. What if I watch it again and don't like it as much?
Yeah, true. Once the hype is gone.
Yeah. Because I guess...
How many times have you seen Hot Fuzz, by the way?
Oh.
To be honest. What is your
I want to
guess?
say like near exactly 10. So like give or take 1.
Sure, okay. Yeah. I feel like that's actually less than I was expecting from
you. I'm not like a paranoid maniac who needs to watch it every weekend or something.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's more like I'll watch it when it's on. So if it's on, I'll watch it, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was thinking like, I guess your opinion of a movie is, I guess, how you're feeling maybe, or your context regarding when you first watched something. So like, I don't know. I was in a good mood when I went and saw La La Land, so maybe that's why I liked it so much.
Yeah.
Or something.
Maybe.
You know?
I should make you sad, and then we can watch it again.
Yeah. And then we'll see if I like it or not.
Yeah.
You should physically abuse me, and then we'll watch the film, and then we'll see if that movie brings me traumatic memories, or I still have happy memories.
On to the next subject. What else have you got for me in the thought section? Let's not talk about that.
Well, is there any films where you've maybe only seen once, but you would consider it a favorite, like one of your all-time favorites?
Jeez, I don't know. What was something that I like? Reservoir Dogs very quickly went up to the top of the list of the new movies that I've seen since the podcast has started.
Yeah, sure.
And that wasn't like even with like a shadow of a doubt. That was like straight up. Yep, definitely number one spot.
Yeah,
is in my top 10 though. Yeah, probably. I've only seen about 10 movies.
Yeah, so, in your life. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Also the same thing with Baby Driver. Like I've been like itching to go see that again because I want to experience it again with the music and really focus on it.
Well,
so, maybe.
I wrote here like Nightcrawler, Green Room, and Dunkirk are films I would want to put in my top 10 all-time favorites, but I want to see them again before I did so.
Dunkirk in your top 10.
Shut up.
What are you doing?
It was good, man.
It was all right.
Anyway, I wanted to also, let's flip this sort of discussion on its head a little bit. What are some movies where the first time you've seen it, you liked it or didn't really care much for it, but the next time you saw it, you now really like it on the second viewing?
Sure. Y'all seen Man of Steel?
Oh, you've liked Man of Steel on the second viewing more?
I liked it a little bit more.
Okay.
Because I suppose I just guess I knew what was going on more so.
Okay.
It was very straightforward, I'll admit that. And I was just, but when I first saw it, I was thinking like, I think in my head, I was thinking throughout it, like, this is boring and dumb. So that was just like plagued my mind the whole time. The second time I watched it, I was like trying to think, I'm going to try to find some saving graces of this film. And I found a couple. So,
fair enough.
So I appreciated it more the second time. Also, my favorite movie of all time,
Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock.
Now, why would I not like that on my first viewing?
Because it's in black and white and it's old.
It's an old movie, and it is a scary, spooky horror movie.
Yeah, you didn't like it first time, did you?
No, I didn't care for it. No.
Yeah.
I was a young boy. I was in year 11 or year 10.
And now it's your favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, because I'm a smart boy.
Yeah. So that's a good example.
I hated it because it was black and white. It was boring. It was slow, and I was also just being told how good it was.
Right.
Which I've now become that person telling people how good it is.
Yeah.
And because it was also scary, the second time I see it, I'm being pointed out, hey, this thing symbolizes this thing, and bet you didn't see this coming in your first viewing. Like I still like appreciated the big twist. But hey, here's when they're kind of like hinting towards that, and my mind was just blown at how like crazy that is, that was thought of so well in advance.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, and Psycho's the perfect example for you, because I was just going to say, the second viewing of a film is, you're not watching it trying to guess what's going to happen anymore. You know what's going to happen, and you're looking for other details of the movie. So you're looking for little intricacies, a little background things. Symbolism. And Psycho's the perfect example, because the reason you had to watch it more than once is because you had to actually analyze it critically and academically, and you had to go in and see all the background detail, and once you found those, now you really like it.
And now I've never academically written about anything else.
Yeah. Every time we have an assignment about movies, you're like, can I choose Psycho?
I gotta find a way to make it about Psycho is the thing. So like it could be about like auteurs, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And I would just focus on the one Alfred Hitchcock movie because I haven't seen any of his others.
Like Sin City and Pulp Fiction for me are two things I've had to academically study, and they're both in my top 10 now. And Pulp Fiction was something on my first viewing. I liked scenes, but I didn't get it as a whole.
Sure.
But now I really love just the whole thing, and I get it.
Yeah. Still can't wait to get around to watching that.
Yeah. I guess the opposite of that would be, what are some movies that you maybe liked on the first view, but on reflection, maybe shouldn't watch.
Yep. Don't go back and watch nostalgia movies because they'll never live up to what you thought.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3. Hey, when I first watched Spider-Man 3, I thought that Venom was the best villain ever, and then I learnt why he's not, and how much they changed it from the source material, and how just badly that movie was made. The director didn't want to make it. It was the studio that was like, "Hey, make Venom," and he's like, "No, I want to make this other." I think it was Vulture actually. No, Vulture was going to be Spider-Man 4. Anyway. It was like, no, I want to do this other thing. And they're like, nah, man, make Venom. So he had to make Venom.
Wow.
Just other things that you should not, like that I would have thought was funny at the time, but now I would just cringe at the idea of even watching.
Yeah.
Like old comedy movies.
Okay, yeah.
And by old, I mean like early 2000s old. Like.
You're talking like Will Ferrell, Owen Wilson sort of things?
Yeah.
Adam Sandler.
Your Hutches.
Yeah, Starsky Hutch.
Your Adam Sandler's Happy Gilmore and stuff. Your white chicks. Can you imagine watching White Chicks in 2017?
I think watching it might be okay. I think if they remade that ever, it would.
Oh yeah, sure.
Do horribly.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Borat.
Yeah.
Now I'm stealing this topic of conversation from another podcast.
Okay.
But could that be made in 2017?
Could
a white
Borat
man putting on a suit and a mustache, saying that he's from another country, doing the thickest accent of all time, and pretty much just making fun of a whole group of people.
I tell you what, Sacha Baron Cohen.
There we go. Yeah.
Certainly couldn't, because he's too high status. Maybe if like another newer.
Do you really think someone would do it though?
Not Borat exactly. There'd have to be some sort of new spin on it, and it'd have to have, I don't know.
I think that if in 20 years, when someone tries to recreate something like Borat, myself would hate it, and also I would never watch it with my wife. She would hate it also.
Other things that don't hold up.
Yeah.
You were saying before Spider-Man. I would say Spy Kids.
Get rid of... Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only good thing that came out of Spy Kids was the topic of conversation about how the guy from Machete is playing Machete.
Well, I think Spy Kids like probably still like fun for kids maybe.
Yeah.
But like the CGI in them is not good.
Anything that was made for kids in the 90s I think should never be rewatched again. Anything with Macaulay Culkin shouldn't be watched again.
Home Alone.
Get rid of him. The Flintstone live action movie featuring our very own John Goodman.
Oh, really?
Get rid of it. Apparently it's one of the worst movies ever made. The Mask, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
That doesn't hold up.
Do you know what
The Scary Movie franchise. It's not for kids, but...
Yeah, you're right. Scary Kids. Scary Kids. Scary Movie I hated upon... It was the first time I ever watched it was number 2. I thought it was horrible.
Anything that's like Scary Movie, superhero movie. What were the other ones?
Disaster movie.
Yes.
Epic movie.
Get rid of all of them.
Yeah.
Like they can't be watched
I think the
today.
first Scary Movie was supposed to be the best. Because it was like the first that kicked all that shit off. Do you know what I think sometimes doesn't hold up?
What's that?
Marvel movies.
Oh,
kicking the hornet's nest. Here I am. I think Marvel movies work. I think they work best in the context of when they come out. I don't know why. Like because every time they come out, it's always this hype behind them, and there's always these current jokes about the actors or current joke about the current superheroes.
Yeah.
And they sort of work those sort of maybe references into the script sometimes. I feel that like they're very, very current every time there's a release. And some of the jokes don't hold up when you just watch it by yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I watched Civil War recently.
Oh no, don't talk trash.
I'm not going to talk trash. It was good. It was fine. But like you know that joke where Bucky and Falcon, I think, are in the car and Captain America's talking to some lady, and they're like in the car, like giddy that Captain America's hitting it off with this,
getting some sugar.
Yeah,
he gets some sugar real good at the end
of
that
like,
scene.
When we saw that in the cinema, that got the biggest laugh.
Yeah, that was funny. See, I've only ever seen it in the cinema, so I think that's still very funny. When
I watched it at home, it was like it didn't even come off as trying to be funny.
Oh, okay.
It just seemed like it was only funny because of the cinema live laugh track that was happening behind us.
The live laugh track.
The live laugh track, yeah.
That's a great way of putting
it didn't seem like it was meant to be funny. It was just like their reaction. I don't know.
Have you seen Doctor Strange since you and I watched it together?
No.
Okay.
And that was like one of the Marvel movies I didn't see in the cinema, and I've seen pretty much every other one in the cinema, and that was one of the ones I liked the least.
Sure.
Because I didn't think, I don't know, you got to see it with an audience, otherwise it's not.
Yeah, and I saw it with a
huge.
very giddy audience because I saw a pre-screening of it.
Oh wow, okay.
So the joke with one of the characters' names is, I think it's just Wong or something. So it's just one name, and then Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange just says like, "What are you, Beyonce?" Which also is a joke stolen from Superbad.
Oh, really?
When McLovin holds up his card, he is like, "I am McLovin." And he was like, "What are you, Shaft?" Or like just says like a couple of like one name characters. They like list off like 3 of them.
Yeah.
Literally that same joke just put into a Marvel movie.
And that joke was huge in the cinema?
Oh, it was massive because he says, "What are you, Beyonce?" And then later on he goes, "No," like he doesn't know who Beyonce is.
Yeah.
And then Doctor Strange portals into a room with Wong in it. He thinks he's alone, and he's listening to Beyonce like studying up on her.
Oh, right.
Because he's the all-knowing everything,
Yeah.
right? That got the biggest laugh, and I was expecting to feel that same passion of like, oh man, I love Beyonce.
Yeah.
And I love Doctor Strange, so this is going to be great. When I was watching it with you in our room, and just went, oh, that was actually really flat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you.
I don't know, it's just like current pop trends hold up in the cinema, but when you just watch them by yourself, you're just like, cool.
I just realized I also said our room. Ollie and I don't stay in the same room. We live in the same house is what I meant.
But we do often visit your room to watch movies together.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my little thing. So
Cool,
what do you think it's better to watch it more than once if you're going to have a favorite movie? If you're going to have favorite movies, you got to watch it a couple times to fully understand.
Mate, if you've got a top 5, I don't think you're justified in saying this is one of my top 5 favorite movies if you haven't seen it.
Basically, if it's an intricate film with like, leveled plots and stuff, watch it a couple times so you get everything. If it's a surface level action movie, maybe like a Marvel movie, just watch it at the cinema and then never again. Yeah. unless you really like it. It's fine.
Cool. Good piece of advice, Ollie.
Yeah.
Good coming up with your own term for live
laughter track.
It's very good.
Yeah.
911/Mr. Lonely there by Tyler, the Creator, from his newest album, Flower Boy, featuring Steve Lacy and our very own boy, Frank Ocean. We love him here at Ignorance Is This, don't we, Ollie?
Yeah, we talk about him all the time, Frank Ocean.
We've had him on the show in terms of songs, at least twice.
Pretty big stuff here. Anyway, we're talking about Atomic Blonde today with Charlize Theron.
Yep, you got it right that time.
And James McAvoy.
James who?
McAvoy.
Theron.
It's got John Goodman in it too.
Yeah, we all know how to pronounce his name because he is a notoriously good boy.
Yes. Anyway, we went and saw this Atomic Blonde.
Sorry.
Atomic Blonde.
What'd you think, Cole?
Yeah. Do you know what? I didn't have a bad time. It was good.
I did have a bad time.
Yeah.
No, I just don't think I liked it as much as you.
Okay. And I can understand because we just watched the trailers and straight off the bat they were spoiler inducing.
I'm pissed.
Heavy.
Honestly.
Quite heavy. Had a lot of ending scenes in the trailers. Featured prominently.
Like the first 35 seconds of one of the trailers was 35 seconds taken straight from the second last scene.
Did you remember that scene and we're waiting for it to happen?
Yes, because he had different hair.
Yeah.
There was I was waiting for the cool hand in the ice bucket challenge, ALS shot. Please donate, everyone. I was waiting for that, and the closer it got to the end of it, because that was the one scene that I really stuck out for me, because I remember seeing that in the movies when we were watching something else. Yeah, it was very spoiler heavy, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. However, can I say, out of all the movies we went to see at the cinema, this I knew the least about in terms of just everything. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously I'm not watching the trailer for anything, but other things I can find out about, like, I knew all the actors for most of the other films we've seen. I've seen posters for them. There's usually going to be like a clip on Facebook, and when I'm scrolling past, like, 3 seconds of it will come up and I'll see like this brief scene from it or something. Won't tell me anything, but I'm still seeing trailers from these other films.
And we've never watched a movie in which that has happened to Ollie, because we're very good here.
Yeah, we avoid it at all costs. But yeah, sometimes things slip through the cracks, shall we say.
Sure. Yeah.
But like, if it's a Marvel movie, I'm going to obviously know who's in it, what some of the context around it is.
If you want to know who's in Infinity War, Just think of every character you know, and they'll be in there.
Yeah. But for this, like Atomic Blonde, it's a new IP. It's based off a comic book, but in terms of a cinematic movie, it's a new IP. Knew nothing about it.
Is that what it's called? Like
An IP?
saying a new IP? I know that's a video game thing. Does that apply to
okay,
film?
maybe that's just a video game thing.
I don't know.
But it's a new
franchise.
Franchise, yeah.
There it is.
So yeah, I don't know if there'll be sequels. Maybe it's just a one-off, but
Yeah, do you think it's open for a sequel? Remember,
Yeah,
this
I
is
guess
a
so.
spoiler discussion of Atomic Blonde. If you're listening to this and you want to go see it, switch over to some Frank Ocean. His new album's very good. Yeah, so do you think...
don't know where to switch over to, but just keep switching. But yeah, so I really didn't know anything about this. I knew Charlize Theron was in it. I didn't know James McAvoy was in it. I only knew John Goodman was in it maybe 2 days ago, and I forgot, and then was reminded when we saw it today.
Yeah. So you still had that moment of,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I didn't even know it was MA. I thought it was
it's real bad, wasn't it? It was really...
oh, yeah, it got violent.
Got violent?
Yep.
Got some nudity?
Swearing, yep. All of that.
Dude, the swearing.
Yeah? Was there swearing?
Yeah.
I don't remember it that much.
Are you
heavily.
kidding? The first half an hour was just like really bashing it across the audience's head. It's
trying to
like,
establish that this is a F-word movie.
Yeah. Charlize Theron is a badass. Whack us across their head with an F word. Look, she's smoking and saying the F word. Whacking us again with it. It just got like, I felt like quite injured after the movie.
Yeah.
Just being beat across the head with this fact of like, look, she's smoking. Oh, look, she's okay with a bit of nudity. Look, she's such a badass.
Yeah.
That was annoying.
Sticks and stones will break your bones, but consistent F-word usage will take you out of the cinematic experience.
And it wasn't just Charlize. It was the same thing happening to James McAvoy's. His character was the exact same thing. It was like, we get it. They're both they're both spies. They both know how to use guns. They're like, we know that they're gonna be badasses. Stop smoking in every single scene.
Yeah, I am glad though. It was MA. I don't think I would have liked it nearly as much because the violence in it, or the fight scenes were what really sold me. Because for the first half of the movie, I would say was pretty lackluster. Like it was becoming a bit of a chore. Like some of the scenes I was really liked, but then back to more plot development and talking. And I'm not saying like talking is bad. I'm not saying scenes without flashy guns and fist fights aren't are the other thing. But the dialogue scenes weren't too gripping. But the action, I've got to say, was pretty well choreographed.
Yeah, of course.
Unlike a Marvel movie, it didn't cut every 2 seconds. It wasn't a shaky cam. And let's talk about the scene where it's like a 10-minute, what's made to look like an uncut shot, fighting down the stairway. Really good choreography, fighting. It felt like all the fist punches were really connecting and really hurting both Charlize's character and all the henchmen. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a bit of that, and like you said, it was quite long, and it got to the point where it's like, wow, this is really exhausting to watch, like in a good way.
It was good, yeah, I love that.
Do you just quickly want to summarize what the plot of this is? I would, because so far we're just saying, hey, action's good, this is good, this is bad, but what is this movie about? Because I'll tell you what, I couldn't do this bit. It's up to you.
Okay, here's as best as I can summarize. A British spy is killed. Charlize Theron has some sort of connection to him. He had some sort of list, plans. Don't know what was on the list. The list is sort of the MacGuffin, the item driving the characters. They're all chasing after it. Is that what a MacGuffin is?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It's an object that all the characters are after. They're all after this list. And supposedly this character has memorized all the names on the list. Mm-hmm. So he's really important and they've got to find him. And I don't know, it's one of those movies where there's so much going on. You're just like, okay, I know the list is important. Let's just see how it goes from there. Yeah. So Charlize Theron is a spy. James McAvoy is a guy. Okay, so it's set in East Berlin.
Bring it
you're
back.
right.
What year is it?
It is hard to summarize. It is. I can tell you the location. It's East Berlin.
89.
Several days before the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Yep.
She's a spy. She's sent there. KGB agents are after her. And she's got to meet with James McAvoy, who's this British spy already there and operating. And Yeah.
Exactly.
James
Exactly.
McAvoy, there's a conspiracy where she thinks he's up to no good. There's a French spy too, who she works with, sort of. I really wasn't sure who was bad and who was good half the time.
I'm sorry for really throwing you under the bus.
It's okay. It's okay. It wasn't an easy movie to follow plot wise.
Yeah. It was just a lot of twists and turns, a lot of names, a lot of location changes, a lot of why is she doing this now, and how did she know to go to this place? I don't know. It was a little bit all over the place in that aspect.
I think a lot of it might have come down to editing. Like it was fine editing, like within the scenes, the pretty cool editing, like transitions and stuff.
Yep.
But in terms of like the pacing, it did get a bit confusing at times where we were in this, or what was happening. But yeah, like I guess the only way I could really follow it was knowing that they were after a list. This one character called Spyglass had it memorized, and they needed to save him. They needed to get the information to MI6. We never knew what was on the list. I still don't think we do.
Just a bunch of names.
Yep. I think, maybe it was like KGB spies or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, who knows?
But yeah, they needed that list. They needed it real bad. And James McAvoy had his own plans or something. I don't know.
But then it turned out that the Charlize was actually the character that she was implying that James was.
That's right. So
that also turned out to be bullshit.
There's also
there were 3 endings.
Yeah, there were 3
movie.
endings. Like the movie, our discussion of this is pretty broken because we keep losing focus because we can't really see what connected everything.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
Yep.
I'm sure if you followed really hard or you watched this movie a couple times, maybe you've really seen it.
A little bit of a callback there.
Yeah,
I think
you got to watch it a couple times. Oh yeah, I haven't seen the movie.
Hey guys, if you want to listen to this podcast a couple times over,
maybe then you'll really understand what our discussion is about.
Rate us 5 stars. Make another account. Rate us 5 stars again.
But yeah, there were so many endings, 3 of them, and halfway through the film, you realize they're also looking or trying to discover the identity of someone who I can't remember the name of.
Yeah.
Let's call him Sauerkraut. I don't know. Who is the identity of Sauerkraut? Sebastian.
It was 2 syllables, I swear.
Okay.
It was like sandal or something.
Satchin.
It was Satchel.
Satchel. Yeah, it was Satchel.
Yeah, it was Satchel. There we go.
Okay.
I didn't even have to
So
look
they're
it
trying
up.
to identify Satchel. Who is Satchel? Who is him? Then, so the first ending is that James McAvoy turns out to be Satchel.
Yep.
She's like, "You're a Satchel," and then she kills him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, she goes back to MI6, and then you think that's where the movie's going to end, with her being like, "Yeah, he was Satchel, and you guys are all idiots because you put me through this dumb shit." And then they're like, "Cool, end film. You did your work. The case is done."
Yep.
3 days later, another ending. Because
another ending,
another
wig,
and another wig, another fight scene, another full scene, and apparently now she's Sauerkraut. Now she's Sauerkraut, and she's working with the KGB who've been chasing her. And she's like, "Here's the list. I've had it the whole time. It was in this watch thing." And you're like, "Oh, that's what the watch did." Because that was also something I didn't understand when they were doing that.
There was like a really intense couple of shots of them taking apart the watch, looking at it really crazy deep.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what that shot was used for, because it turned out it was I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. This movie is all over the place.
Yeah.
I really don't think I enjoyed it.
You didn't enjoy it?
No, I wrote a point in which I started to enjoy it. We'll get to that.
Okay. And then now the KGB, whoever these guys are, say, we're gonna kill you now, Charlize Theron. And she's like, "Oh shit, don't worry, I had it prepared. I have my gun in the ice bucket challenge, and I'm gonna take it out and shoot everyone, and now I win for real." And guess what? She's actually an American working with John Goodman.
She was working with John Goodman the whole time.
So she was a UK spy, then she was a Russian agent, and then at the end she was an American the whole time.
It's basically Black Widow, right?
Yeah.
There's just a lot of Black Widowing about.
I mean, I thought early on there was going to be a twist where she was a KGB agent, like a sleeper agent.
Sure.
I thought that's what it was. So when it revealed it blatantly at the end, I was like, "Oh, okay, it did happen." But then she wasn't, and she was an American. So I think with regards to the endings, they needed to space them out, or even maybe show that very ending fight scene like early on and then cut to 10 days later, 10 days before or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
They needed to do something there. Okay, go on. So what didn't you... when did you start liking the film? Or
So I started off with regular old hopes for it. The trailers did look really cool. We'll get back to that soon. That restricted trailer I think was very great.
Yeah.
Before I'd seen the movie, now on reflection, it's no good at all.
Right.
But get to that in a second. I was way off it, the movie, at one point.
Yeah.
Like, I was just...
During first half?
Oh, yeah, I was off board. I was like, this is boring.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, like, shooty action, but that is not giving it to me. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm confused by all these names and all these people. All these people are different nationalities. I don't know what's going on. Who's with who? James McAvoy is a bad... Wait, I thought he was a bad guy. Oh, no, now he's hanging out with her. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Was completely off it. And then Percival got the list.
Yeah.
From then on, I really enjoyed the rest of it.
Okay.
That had all the best stuff in it. That had the stairway fight that went for so long. There was the starting to actually like reveal things.
Once the conspiracy started to come together, you're like, oh, okay, I see what's happening. I can roll with this. Another scene that maybe, because I think this is probably where we both started to like it, was when the cops raided the house she was at, and she used like a rope to take everyone down. Yeah. That was a cool fight scene.
That was a very cool fight scene. Yeah. Very well choreographed.
Yeah.
And you were saying in the car on the way back, the audio and sound editing of this was sick.
Yep.
Lots of great soundtrack.
Yeah.
The just very satisfying thwangs of bullets going through things.
Yeah, like they went through the door and it was just really satisfying crunch and bullet whiz. It was good.
There was even this shot, like it was right at the very end. It was the last fight scene that we were talking about. Like, do we really need that last one with the ice bucket challenge? Theron would hide. She was hiding behind a couch, and it starts going slow motion. She shoots some guy, and he kind of like it's like a belly shot, right? And then he would like lean down because he just got shot, and then she would point the gun up and shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
And now that in real time would take like a second and a half or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
By that stage, the person that's behind should have been able to quickly grab his gun and like shoot. Like, well, he already would have had the gun in his hand because he was expecting this fight. I was watching that thinking, well, how are they going to do this without him looking like a bumbling idiot, like bumbling over his gun? But they just showed him shooting. And this is like just a small detail that you're supposed to be looking at the lead. But I was looking at this guy and you see him shoot, but then like quite off screen, like far from the center, you see a bullet hole go through the couch. And I'm like, oh, he just missed her. Like he was shooting.
Oh, okay.
Like he did have time to shoot the gun.
I remember that actually. Yeah.
He did have time to shoot the gun.
Yeah.
And he did, but he just missed. And they added in the detail of it going through the couch. And then there was also that really satisfying like sound of that happening as well. Even though you're supposed to be focusing on the main channel sound.
Yeah. Give everything a sound effect and it really comes together, doesn't it now?
As a sound student, yes it does.
Yeah, I was thinking I noticed that actually, and I thought, oh yeah, that is good. It's like she didn't live through that because she was super skilled, because that guy, it was just it was just lucky enough that guy missed.
Yeah, so in this restricted trailer, the one that we watched just now together, we watched a couple other ones as well, but this was the coolest one, I would say.
Okay.
Actually, probably not the coolest. The coolest one was official trailer number 2, which had a certain soundtrack in it. Wasn't that right? Oh,
Black Skinhead by Kanye. It's used in literally every trailer ever.
Also known as the trailer song now, which is sad for me. But
it's hard not to get hyped when you're listening to that song.
It's true, and it's showing up like in film as well.
Yeah.
A lot. Like
it was in Suicide Squad.
It was in Suicide Squad. I was gonna say it's in the Power Rangers movie, but that's Power, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I wrote a list of all the things that I thought in the movie were really cool shots. And then on reflection, because it's I don't watch the trailer as I'm going to the place.
Yeah.
So I saw this trailer like a week ago at least.
Yeah.
So I watched the movie and I'm not super enjoying it, but I'm thinking, okay, this shot was really cool. And then watching this restricted trailer, it was like they just grabbed all of my favorite shots and just put them for me to watch again later, which is a bad thing because this is like the best bits.
Yeah.
All just literally in the last 30 seconds of the trailer, because it was just like a montage.
Yeah.
But it's a montage of all the best shots.
Yeah, right.
So you've got the funny bit from Percival saying, "Oh, I'll get your bags." The car's upside down. He presses the button on the boot or the trunk of the car, if you're an American listener, and the suitcases like fall down, and then she goes, for shit's sake, or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Funny.
Yeah.
One of the funniest moments in the movie because there's only like one or two funny bits from the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
The other one was, "Hey, don't shoot, I've got your shoe." That was also in the trailers.
Yeah.
Which I also thought was not funny. I remember seeing that in the movies and thinking, "Oh, that wasn't a funny bit. I hope this isn't a comedy."
This is clearly supposed to be a comedic moment, but like, it wasn't a comedy, so it doesn't matter too much.
There was this great bit where the lead is battling off some henchmen, and she's standing next to a fridge and freezer, and the freezer is head height. And she grabs the freezer door and smacks him with it. And for the split second, you can see that there are things in the freezer.
Yeah.
Like there were like peas and shit in there. There was a cool shot of the baddie who's interrogating some kids that were having a party at the time. They were listening to 99 Red Balloons. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
That was a cool thing. They played the German version of 99 Red Balloons.
Okay, yeah.
He sees the skateboard on the ground and he like picks it up by like putting his foot underneath the deck and lifting it up, like kicking it up to him.
Oh yeah.
Great shot. One of the most memorable shots. I was thinking, it's like an old guy doing something cool. Remember that in the trailer. And just as she lands in Berlin, she's driving. There's a car that's behind her, and she's pew 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 shooting at it. No, she's in this car. Yeah. And then she grabs the wheel because she realizes that she's being carried away by the wrong people.
Yeah.
And she pulls off into like this ramp, and the car flips. That was in the trailer. That's one of the best shots because I was like, whoa, that's actually really cool. Probably the best shot, or like, not the best shot, but like coolest action. There was a bit where she's got this rope that we were talking about before.
Mm-hmm.
She throws it over one of the characters' head, so it's on the neck, and she pulls down really hard so that his legs go flying up from underneath him.
Oh, yeah.
And then that connects to the chin of another henchman. So literally all she does is just throw this rope around one person, pulls down, and then she gets two people, like a domino effect.
Yeah.
That was in both of the trailers that we watched today. So that seems like it's going to be one of those recurring shots throughout. Yeah. So even though that's one of the best bits, like one of like the coolest, like ha ha ha, that was like a really funny, like weird bit in the movie that was revealed in every single trailer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then finally there's the neck breaking rope swing.
Oh yeah.
When she's swinging like Spider-Man from the top of the building to the bottom of it, and she literally like necks some guy.
Yeah, because the rope is attached to a man's neck,
which is a bit brutal.
And he was a policeman, so like, was he really a bad character?
Lastly, that's just trailer things.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's annoying. Bad trailers.
Another thing in the trailer, and something that was totally spoiled. You know, the French agent.
Yeah.
She was when you first see her in the film, she's like this photographer, and she's taking pictures of Charlie's and taking pictures of James McAvoy, and you're like, ooh, this is a shady character. Is she like a KGB spy? Is she getting intel on all these guys? And then later at the bar, you realize is very forward with Charlie's Theron and kisses her, and then they go into like a back room and make out and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she turns out to actually be a spy from the France. And she's a part of their organization. And so she's sort of a good guy. And that is totally revealed in the trailer because there's no better way to get people to watch your movie than show the lesbian sex scene in the trailer. Yeah. Which, that was in the trailer, and that was, that's something in the movie, but it doesn't happen till halfway through, and because you don't even know who this other woman is.
Yeah, the first time you see her to the second time you see her, there is like a 15-minute, 20-minute gap.
Yeah, you just think that she's this shady character, but I mean, if you watch the trailers, you'll know.
They're going to get together, right?
Yep. And also with her character, there's a voiceover of James McAvoy. Now, these are unrelated scenes in the movie, sort of. He gives a little monologue towards the end, but in the trailer, he gives this monologue as a voiceover, and he's saying like, you let all the people that are close to you die. And in the trailer, they just show that French character being strangled.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Just such a way. Like, why are trailer companies doing this?
Yeah, like, if you really...
This
like,
was
I
even
understand.
a movie that you didn't care about and you're annoyed at this.
I know. Like, full disclosure, I actually liked the movie. I definitely didn't like the start of it. Yeah. And I think... I would definitely appreciate if I understood what was going on more. That's the editor's bad, or that's the scriptwriter's bad. They didn't present it completely well.
Yep.
And second viewings would really help. But yeah, I really liked the action. I really liked the ending half.
What do you think of the aesthetic?
I liked it. It was
the whole like the neon everything.
Yeah, I like it.
Spray painting, like what was happening on the wall. Like
it's just good to see them do them giving it an aesthetic.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely. It felt very like similar to the Ghost in the Shell movie, where they put a real emphasis on how much this world is supposed to look. So
it looks nice. It's a nice world.
Everything looks grungy, but then in between scenes will be like a spray paint of Back to the East was one of the titles, and it was spray painted onto the screen.
Yeah, and it's cool to see a film set in a country other than, well, I mean, in cities other than New York, London, and LA.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, let's do our ratings of it. What do you think?
I'm going to say the movie is maybe a credit.
Yep.
I would definitely like it. Maybe if I watched it again and read up on the plot.
Yep.
Trailers, a fail, I think. A fail, methinks.
Really?
I guess like
we've only given a fail once, and that was to Homecoming. And that was the level of how bad that was.
I know, but you could say that Homecoming is failing at a rate of like 5, like a score of 5, and this is failing with a score of 45.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Because the trailers were, I guess, they were entertaining. Like they showed some of that hallway fight, and it got you sort of hyped.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool music as well.
That was still like 40 seconds uncut from the film.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah. So yeah, I gotta give props to. I guess the trailers were entertaining. They sold the film. If I'd watched them before, I would have been sold on it. I guess because I wasn't really hyped going in to see it. I didn't really care much for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was surprised that it was what it was. I was surprised it had an aesthetic and it had cool stuff. So fail for the trailer, credit for the movie.
And
it's a good credit.
I'm going to give it a credit for the movie, a low credit, and pass the trailer because it did make me get hype.
Okay,
but
fair
it's
enough.
just disappointing to know later on that this was spoiling things.
So the trailer's more bad in hindsight when you realize everything was spoiled.
Yeah, but it's a good. It's not like Batman and Superman or Spider-Man Homecoming where you know at the time, oh, that's going to be towards the end of the film. Like I got none of that. I just saw that these cool shots got me hype, but then seeing the movies made me realize, oh, that was a movie. That was a shot picked for the trailer because it's one of the only like really like interesting shots used. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
I would definitely say to listeners, go see it if you haven't already. It is a good film. You can wait till the DVD release. You don't have to see it on the big screen. It's not huge. Just make sure you're paying attention.
Yeah.
See if you can get better details of the plot than we did.
And if you're going to be watching it on your laptop, don't watch it with something with a good sound system because that's one of the really, really strong aspects of the film. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
I've got a pet peeve for this week.
Oh yeah, time to whinge.
Look, it's a very, very quick one and has nothing to do with anything that has ever been said or acted upon in screen.
Okay, you're usually dialogue heavy with your pet peeves.
It's not even like an action, like anything.
Okay.
I wrote this down the other day because I heard it being spoken aloud, and I realized that I hear this being spoken aloud a lot.
Okay.
I hate it when people are insistent on Die Hard being a Christmas movie. Whenever someone says, what's your favorite Christmas movie? And people are saying, oh, I love The Grinch. Oh, I love The Nightmare Before Christmas. And then you've got that one roided up baldy who's saying, did you know that Die Hard's a Christmas movie? Everyone knows that Die Hard is a Christmas movie because people like you keep on telling us that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And no, it doesn't count, and you know that it doesn't count. Stop trying to get out
Have you seen Die Hard?
No. I just it's just a way for people to like. It's a way for people that are like real like big and tough, strong people that don't want other people to know that they know about Christmas movies. So it's like, oh, here's an opportunity for me to talk about a quotations cool movie. Did you know that I can get out of this conversation by talking about another movie?
All right.
That's basically what they're trying to say. Shut up. Shut up and with your dumbass bloody I'm too cool for Christmas movies personality.
Okay.
Everyone's seen Nightmare Before Christmas and everyone knows it's the best one. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Die Hard 2 is a Christmas movie. Is it? Because you're not mentioning it if it is. It's only this one. Dickheads.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. I'll say this. There are Christmas themes within the movie. I think there are, like, maybe one plot point is driven by the fact it's Christmas.
Yeah. Isn't it Christmas dinner?
I don't know.
It's Christmas Eve?
Yeah, it's a Christmas Eve party.
Yeah.
Towards the end, I'm sure there's some sort of monologue about how it's so good that it's Christmas time and we can all share in this special celebration.
Let it be known that I'm rolling my eyes right now. But stop saying it's a Christmas movie.
Okay. Yeah, you wouldn't, if there was a Christmas movie section at a video store.
Yeah.
You shouldn't find Die Hard. You should find Die Hard in an action film section.
Yep.
But if it was Christmas and they're showing Christmas movies on TV and someone said, let's get out a Christmas movie, I wouldn't say no to watching Die Hard to get me in the spirit of Christmas.
But if you're at a party and someone says, what's your favorite Christmas movie? And someone else says Die Hard is a Christmas movie, did you know that? Would you rebut them? Or would you just say, okay, and continue on your conversation?
Good rant, mate.
Oh, stopping myself from doing a swear.
Let the record show, this is the maddest I've ever seen this man. Your blood is boiling.
Oh, I'm red. All my blood is to my face right now.
Okay.
Let's get me back in the happy mood by making you feel like an idiot. So let's talk about Fruit is Acute.
Fruit is acute. Fruit is acute. Do you look cute? Well, the fruit does.
So, Fruit is Acute is a game that we play in which I give Ollie 5 movies. And he is a big old movie fanboy. He knows all of the Rotten Tomato scores for every movie ever made.
Within 5%, I sure do.
If I say this movie is a 50% and he told me that it was 55 or 45, then he's correct. Anything else, he's incorrect. And then we tally up at the end to see whether Ollie is an idiot or not. Let's see if you can find the theme for this one.
Okay.
Y'all seen Hancock?
I have seen Hancock.
Y'all think it's a good movie?
I like some of it.
I
didn't like some of it.
The whole thing.
Did you?
I thought it fell apart so bad at the end that any enjoyment I got from the jokes at the beginning flew out the window. I learned over time that I hated that movie. Like from the start, I was like, oh, it's like it's funny, like it's superheroes, but he's like he's like homeless and he's like a bad family life. This could be interesting. No, turned to shit at the end. What do you think? Do you think that people share my opinion or more your opinion?
I think they probably... No, I don't. I wouldn't say I liked it.
No, I mean, like, you're in the middle of the road. I think this movie deserves, like, 11%.
I haven't seen it since I was very youngin'. Yeah. So I don't know. But I would say it's probably tossing around at 35. Ah.
You were close, though. Very close. It was 41.
Oh, okay. So better than...
by 1%.
Okay.
Hey, y'all seen Romeo and Juliet?
Jesus. You know damn well I haven't seen Romeo and Juliet, you damn critter.
If you would like me to explain to you a little bit more about Romeo and Juliet, I wrote some notes if you would like me to quickly reel them off.
Yeah.
Featuring a cast list including James McAvoy, Emily Blunt, Michael Caine, Matt Lucas, Maggie Smith, Jason Statham, Ozzy Osbourne,
whoa,
Stephen Merchant,
whoa,
Julie Walters, Hulk Hogan, Dolly Parton, and Patrick Stewart.
That is a stacked cast.
Yeah.
For a movie no one probably saw?
Do you reckon it did well?
Romeo and Juliet. Definitely something that wouldn't sell me to see it, even as a kid. Don't care for gnomes. Don't care for Romeo and Juliet. Maybe it's like 22? Damn. Okay.
Way off, you idiot. It was 55%.
Whoa. Okay.
There is going to be a Romeo and Juliet 2 coming out in 2018.
It was a successful movie.
Well, somewhat, but it's not going to be called Romeo and Juliet. It's going to be called Sherlock Gnomes. And Romeo and Juliet, the characters by James McAvoy and Emily Blunt, are going to be returning. And our best friend on the show, move out the way, Frank Ocean, Johnny Depp is back in your place, is going to be playing Sherlock Gnomes.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So they're just going to have puns for every sequel.
Yeah, I really hope that they keep going.
Yeah, that's okay.
See how far they can get. One of your favorite movies. What do you think V for Vendetta got?
Oh, I love V for Vendetta.
I reckon you're going to get this spot on because you love this movie so much.
It should be in my top 10, actually. I don't know if I will get it, but I think it's out like 77. Yeah, boy. I'm glad I get my movies right.
Yeah, you got that one right.
What was it?
74.
Okay, cool.
Now, this is a movie that's very close to both of our hearts.
Okay.
What do you think Kong Skull Island received in a Rotten Tomatoes scoring on the Rotten Tomatoes website?
I know what it was when it came out.
Yeah, well, bloody hell. There's been DVD releases. There's been time for more critic release of reviews. What do you reckon?
I'm just going to say what I it was around when it came out, like 77 again.
Very good.
Yeah, boy.
76. Last one. What did Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets get? Let it be put on the record. This is one of my favorite movies of all time, tied for second place.
92.
92.
It's high, but damn.
Love or Lost. Incorrect.
Oh dear.
That was 82. Still very high.
Okay.
Higher than I was expecting for a movie that's being carried by children.
Yeah.
Now,
Pretty good.
do you know the theme of this segment?
Is it an actor tying them together?
Somewhat.
I don't know.
Okay, so Charlize Theron was in Hancock.
Yeah.
James was in Romeo and Juliet.
John Goodman was Kong.
Eddie Marsan, who played Spyglass, is in V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
And Toby Jones was in Chamber of Secrets. He voiced Dobby.
Right.
And also every other character in everything else.
Which is Toby Jones Dobby, was he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Me neither until
That's
just
pretty cool.
now. But I do know Toby Jones as the person that's in everything.
Yeah.
He's in Doctor Who.
Sherlock.
He's in Sherlock. He's in bloody the Captain America movies.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. He's bloody in it. You name it. Toby Jones is in it.
Yeah.
He's got a face that you'll recognize immediately on screen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that bloody brings us to the end of Ignorance Is This for another week. We did it.
We did it.
We talked about a movie that we didn't much like. This is the first time for
You
everything.
didn't much like-
Yeah,
Good.
sorry. I keep on throwing you under the bus as also not liking it, but it was just me, I think.
Yeah. Well, it was a good movie to see that I just had no concept of what it would be.
Sure.
So it was good to see something I just had absolutely no clue.
I would like more movies of this genre.
Yeah.
Maybe set in a different time, in a different era. Same with badass lead female.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
You
But
want this
I
movie
think-
with iPads. You want it current day.
Yeah.
You want people running around with fidget spinners.
I want... I want people doing kick flips on their Razor scooters.
Yeah. I want people using DVDs. Not Blu-ray yet, but DVDs.
Blu-ray, get rid of them.
I want
Guys,
that era.
let's do some plug
Yeah.
on. I'm going to do this staring directly in Oliver's eyes so he knows that I've memorized all this. You can get in contact with us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/ignoranceisthispodcast, the whole thing. You can get in contact with us on Twitter at twitter.com/ignoranceisthispodcast. Know this. Know
was
this,
taken.
Ollie. There is no in our Twitter handle. And Ignorance Is This podcast at gmail.com if you would like to get in contact with a little bit more than 140 characters. Ain't that true, Ol?
Yeah.
Also, leave us a bloody 5-star review in the iTunes because that helps us get to higher in the charts. More people can listen. And at the moment, we've got a couple of 5-star reviews, but not enough to have an average yet. So if you look for the podcast, it won't show the 5 stars. So we just need like heaps more.
Yeah.
And then bloody hit us up. If you take the time. I mean, how long does it take?
The thing I always say is, if there's nothing stopping you, why don't you do it?
Yeah.
That's just life advice.
Be nice
If there's
to us.
nothing stopping you from winning the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
why don't you?
I know, right?
If there's nothing stopping you from buying a new wallet, why don't you?
What else can you see around this room that you can think about for improv?
If there's nothing stopping you
Yes.
from
Yes.
creating a world success podcast,
Okay.
why don't you?
Yeah.
We do that.
We're doing it right
we
now.
do it. We're examples of that success.
Right.
Anyway, we like to end the show Ignorance Is This with a little haiku about the movie we've seen this week.
I am so excited for this one.
I told you. Okay, so let the record show this is my worst haiku ever. I'm not
disagree.
proud of it. No,
I'm so proud of this one.
You don't know what it is yet.
And you know what? I'm proud of you all.
Okay, I just want everyone to know this is really bad and it's not funny.
Great.
It's not funny. I don't want you to laugh. It's not funny. It deserves no laughs.
All right, guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you laugh at this, I want at least 5,000 5-star reviews.
Okay.
If this is not funny, then unsubscribe.
Okay.
Please.
Here it is.
You better be funny.
Atomic Blonde.
Oh,
More like
Yes.
Atomic Bond.
yeah.
Charlie's 00 Theron.
Very good. Very good. Now, I did say that if you found that funny, please do all those things, and that was hilarious.
Thanks, guys.